2025 is coming to an end, and we need to start getting ready for 2026, and that means goal planning. So today's episode is going to be all about how you can make 2026 your best year and sharing my vision board tips with you, goal setting tips, so we can become the dream version of ourselves in 2026. Welcome back to Bella's Wellness Podcast Edition, where I help you become the most self-loving, confident, and best version of yourself. Today is going to be all about building the dream version of ourselves next year, making sure we are setting good, reachable goals for 2026, and creating a vision board that actually works and actually gets you to where you need to be. So we're just going to start off with some tips, and the first one is things don't happen unless you make them happen. So setting small but achievable goals will always get you farther than just looking at the end result you want. So a lot of times, especially when it comes to vision boards, we put the end result of everything. So the dream car, the dream house, the dream job, all of this stuff, which is great. Those are achievable goals, but within that, you need to know how to get there. If you just put the dream car, how are you going to get the dream car? Where are you going to get the money for that dream car? If you're a busy college student, if you're in high school, if you are working like a couple part-time jobs or doing something like that, how are you going to implement a strategy to get that car? Like, are you going to get another job? Are you going to start content creation? What are you going to do? So instead of just looking at the end result, make sure that you're looking at actionable steps that you can take this year to make sure you are getting to where you need to be. So I like to think of this as you're trying to climb Mount Everest. You can do that. Many people have done that before, but you don't start at the top. You start at the bottom. You have to learn how to adjust yourself to the air and how high up you are. You need to learn how to build that physical fitness first, and then you get to the top of the mountain very slowly as you go. You can't just start at the top of the mountain, and you also can't climb Mount Everest with nothing prepared. So it's really important that for 2026, we are thinking, I hate using this word, but realistically, so we can set the foundation. And then as you go, you can keep building, you can keep growing, you can keep getting better. But it's important you know how to do the baby steps, because if you don't know how to do the little things that are going to help you get to that end goal, putting the end goal on your vision board is not going to do anything for you this year. And the last thing we want for 2026 is to be discouraged. So, guys, this is your sign. If you have a vision board or if you have an online vision board, make sure you look back at this and make sure that the goals on it are realistic for 2026. This leads me into topic number 2, which is create hyper-specific goals. So, I hear a lot of people every year say they want to get fit, and their New Year's resolution is to go to the gym 4 times a week and lose 15 pounds and do all this stuff, which is amazing. But getting fit is a very broad goal. So in that goal, how can we take things, pinpoint it down into something a little more hyper-specific? So getting fit is great, but what are you going to do? Are you going to do Pilates? Are you going to do weightlifting? Are you going to do a mix of both? Are you going to go to workout classes? What is your goal? And also, is your goal to build muscle? Is it to lose weight? Is it to gain weight? Is it to get lean? What kind of body do you want? How do you want to feel? Right? So when you take all these things into consideration, you have to make sure that the goal is hyper-specific. So another good one would be starting a business. That's great. What kind of business do you want to start? What is your niche? What is your target audience? Do you know anything about starting a business? Are you going to need to get a business license? What does that even look like in your country? So it's really important to think about these things and then get hyper specific. And this also ties into tip number 1 of how these things don't happen unless you make them happen, and also how you can't be looking at the end goal for this. So people get discouraged when they put maybe a really fit person on their vision board and then they're looking at themselves and maybe they didn't accomplish that year. But what you don't have is the steps you need, right? Your brain is going to look at that end result and go, this makes no sense. I don't know what I'm doing. But if you put maybe a picture of a workout plan, you'll be reminded, oh, right, I am going to make a workout plan that I'm going to follow and da 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 da. If you put a picture of a workout class, oh, right, I need to book my workout class next week. See how easier it is to understand and comprehend these goals when they're hyper specific. So make sure you guys are getting hyper specific and putting your goals into categories. Which, speaking about categories, we are getting into tip number 3, which is categorize your goals. So think of multiple areas in your life, not just in general, right? So I like to categorize my goals in like personal growth, relationship, self-care, health and fitness, finances. It's important to have kind of like a goal for each, and obviously you don't have to do super like intense, crazy big categories. If your main goal this year is to get fit, then absolutely make that and then do like 2 to 3 goals in that one category, and that can be what you focus on for the entire year if you need. That is totally fine. But for those of you who maybe want to take this a little bit further and go a little bit deeper into goal setting and maybe cleaning up multiple areas of your life, it's really important to categorize your goals in the areas of life that are most important to you. So in a little bit, I'm going to show you guys my personal vision board, and they are all categorized into specific areas and everything. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. But those categories that I have on my vision board, you do not have to put them on yours. You don't have to feel pressure to add them because everyone's life is going to look different and everybody is going to have different goals. So let's just say your main goal is to be healthy. Okay, but what if you struggle with discipline, right? What if you struggle with multiple other things in your life, which if you do, that's fine. But all I'm saying is like, this is why it's important to categorize your goals and not just have a broad spectrum, because you can kind of tie them into each other, right? If you really struggle, like I said, with discipline, but your main goal is to go to the gym 4 times a week, maybe in the personal growth area, you need to start getting better at like your time management, maybe less scrolling, less social media, which is another goal in itself. So you can really branch off into this and you can really get creative with what you need and how you're going to do it. And even like in personal growth, you can take this so far. Like, do you need help with communication? Do you need help with starting a business and all these things? So it's super important to make categories because, like I said earlier, they can all tie into each other and they can all help lead to your main goal. So sometimes you have like your main goal, but then to get there, you need to clean up other little things, and that's totally fine. It's really awesome, and I really recommend choosing one big thing, but then having other mini goals that maybe seem a little more like low key, just so it's not so much pressure for you on the new year. And for my final tip, before I show you guys my vision board and give you a little bit of a rundown on my goals for next year, I just want to mention, don't overwhelm yourself with goals. And I also really want to mention, start doing things now. Next Thursday is Christmas. And then we have New Year's. I think a week after that, actually. So there really isn't a ton of time left, but if I could give you one little gold nugget of advice, it would be to start implementing these things into your life now. So make sure that maybe if your goal is to be healthy, maybe just start working out once a week. You work out once a week for the rest of this year, so at least you have something to build off of. If you have never done a workout in your life and your main goal is to work out 4 times a week, how are you going to do that? So this isn't to discourage anybody, but I'm just saying if you've never done it, just because it's a new year doesn't mean you are a completely new person. You have to build that new person. So make sure you guys get a head start on your goals this year. Start reading a book. If that's one of your goals, to start reading more, start reading book now in 2025. Like I said, maybe you book your first workout class next week. Maybe you start content creation and you start posting on YouTube. This is actually what I'm doing right now. One of my goals for 2026 is to get on YouTube, Instagram, and really drive traffic towards my podcast. So you guys are going to be getting a video podcast and an audio podcast, and you can choose whichever one you want. But all of this is part of my 2026 goals, and it is still 2025, and here I am showing up. So this is just proof that you guys can start doing your goals now, and at least you'll have a foundation. So when 2026 comes, you are already so ahead of everybody else, and you're already ahead of your 2026 self by doing this now. So before I end this podcast, I am going to show you guys my personal vision board, and it's very large. So here it is. I know it can be kind of hard to see, but I'm going to show you guys all the areas. Hopefully you can see them. I kind of have to stand up to show you. Sorry about the lighting. So this is my humongous vision board. And so I'm going to be sharing with you guys all the areas of life that I have put on here and why I've put these goals on my vision board. So we're starting off with relationship here. So a lot of my relationship stuff was very spiritual because I want to kind of create a more, spiritual friendship group. So I've put a lot of things, like I have a proverb here that says, a sweet friendship refreshes the soul. And then I have down here a bunch of friends doing Bible study. And then of course I just have, my friend group consists of 4 people, so I just put 4 because I love my friends so much, so just to remind me. And then I have a nice little love here. By the way, guys, this is my first real vision board, so please bear with me if you're a little more experienced than me. And then we have the personal growth, so content creation, which is what I'm doing right now. And then we have my podcast stuff, fashion, because I really want to prioritize dressing well and dressing more businessy because I love business, I love entrepreneur. So it's very important to me that I dress that way to align with my future self. And of course we have some analytics here for like content creation growing, and then I'm planning to launch my first official business in 2026 on my birthday. It's an ebook business, so you guys will all have access to it if you want, and it's actually for free right now if you guys are interested on my Instagram. I can tag that in the bottom. But so this is getting started with my business. And then I only have a couple goals for financial just because I'm still really young and I'm still learning about everything. But I want to invest. My other goal for my birthday is to invest in the stock market and get set up with my parents' financial guy. And then, of course, making some more money would be awesome. And then down here we have self-care. So I started buying myself flowers this year over summer, which went really well, and it like made me feel really good. So I would really like to continue doing that, and just as like a self-love thing. So I put that on there. And then we have breakfast in bed because every Sunday I have a self-care day, and I thought it'd be really cute and a really fun way to romanticize my life if every Sunday morning I made it a priority to like light a candle, have breakfast in bed, and watch like an episode of my show. Obviously, if that's possible for me every morning. And then 5 a.m. I love waking up at 5 a.m. So I've kind of been falling off track with that and being a little bit more inconsistent. So making sure that I'm being consistent with waking up at 5 a.m. and having a strict bedtime has really, really improved my life. And of course, we have the fitness and health, which is healthy eating here. I put this picture because it really prioritizes like protein and like whole foods. So I feel like I'm a healthy person, but I want to prioritize more whole foods and more just simple like 1 ingredient foods. So that's why I put this image. And then I have girl at the gym. I currently work out at home, so I think it'd be really cool if I could try going to the gym by myself and really push myself out of my comfort zone with that. I would be terrified to do that, so that's why I put it on there. And then we have hydration, because that's like one of my main priorities. One of my main priorities is hydrating and making sure I'm drinking enough water. And then of course, I currently don't really have a workout plan. I have my days planned out, but I don't have a schedule. So I put a workout schedule on here just so I can be motivated to actually make one. And my last section here is spiritual. So I have a quote that says, "God, please protect me as I turn my dreams into reality." I think that was really powerful, so I love this. And of course, Bible. So 1 page of the Bible every single day. when I wake up. I've been doing this in 2025, so again, I'm on top of it. And so this was one of them. And prayer. So prayer 2 times a day is my routine right now. So again, on top of that one too. And that's pretty much my entire vision board and my main goals for this year. So I'll show you guys one more time the full. It's hard to get it fully on camera because it's quite large, but this is the full board. And yeah, so that's just an example of what my vision board looks like. And I have more goals in those categories. So those are my categories for next year that I'm going to be focusing on and mainly just trying to grow, get better in, and do all those things. I know that goal setting can be a very daunting task for a lot of people, but it is essential to push yourself if you want to achieve the lifestyle that you dream of, and making goals and sticking to them is going to get you there. Guys, I truly believe all of you have so much potential. All of you watching this, all of you listening to this have so much potential. And I know that because you even clicked on this video, you guys are going to do great and you are going to go so far. And I am so excited to see where you guys go in 2026. And I can feel it for you guys. I can feel it for myself. This year is going to be full of abundance, love, success, and focus. Yeah, so every week I do an emoji just to see who makes it this far in the episode. And this week's emoji is going to be the confetti emoji. So if you have listened this far, please comment the confetti emoji to symbolize entering a new year, entering a new era of life, something to celebrate. And yeah, never forget that the best version of yourself is waiting for you and is only one good decision away from finding you. I love you all so much and I'm wishing you the best in 2026. Bye!